Hello, welcome back. This is Miniature Mike, and I want to do a little bit different kind of video. I'll tie it into Star Wars miniatures a little bit later on, but like many of you guys are right now, we're watching Andor. I don't know how many of you are watching Andor, but I thought it'd be fun to make a show on it, or just a little episode to talk about the show. Season 2 is 75% of the way done. Kind of give my thoughts, and then also later on in the episode, go and take a look at some of the custom Andors that have been made by some people in the community, and just kind of talk about them, see what I like, and then maybe even make my own potentially if I feel like it. It's one thing I feel like I'm bad at. It's making my own customs sometimes, because it's tough when there's a lot of different people to make, and you're just like, oh, do I want to use this? Do I want to use that? But anyways, just my thoughts on the show. A couple nights ago, my wife and I, we finished watching episodes 7, 8, and 9, which a lot of people are talking about right now because it's kind of the climax of so much that's been building up throughout the whole series. And for me personally, like, I really enjoyed season 1. It was different, made Star Wars feel like sci-fi, but it also, to me, still felt a lot like Star Wars. It had that aesthetic. It even had a lot of the themes, the feel. It's just the genre was a little bit different. And I thought it was so much fun. And I've really, really, really enjoyed season 2 so far. I've appreciated kind of like the build-up, the slow burn. And one thing I do appreciate is even though you have all these kind of time jumps between the groups of episodes, they're all really deliberate. Like, all the things that occur in the beginning episodes, they all kind of connect and lead into things that happen in the next set of episodes and the next set of episodes. And so I've really enjoyed just kind of watching that unfold and how it explodes. Just kind of seeing some of the characters and where they go. I'm not going to get into any spoilers in this video in case you haven't watched it, but it's just been tremendous. I think the writing's been awesome. It's been really cool to see what they've done with all these characters, and throughout the whole show. And what the reviews kind of said before I watched the show was that it's really heavy, it's really tragic, and that's true. There's some characters that meet fates where the variety of characters, some you like, and the cool thing about all these characters is that they all feel real. In some ways, you're almost rooting for everybody, even if some characters are like the Empire characters, and they're evil, they do bad things. But they also are like, I don't know how the writing does it, where you kind of feel like you can feel for every single character. But some characters meet fates where you're just like, wow, like, it just hits you. And it just makes you think about, like, a lot of the allegory, a lot of the storytelling, a lot of the messages, I think are really, really powerful and potent in the show. So anyways, that's just kind of my thoughts on it. It really, I thought it was really impressive. I love the writing, the lines. I love the tension throughout the whole show. I think it's fantastic, and I'll make a video in the future about this. I haven't loved a lot of the stuff that Disney's put out. However, when they do win, I'm more than happy to say that, to be like, hey, that was fantastic. Do this, do more of this. And so that's kind of how it is with me and Andor, where, sure, George Lucas doesn't own Star Wars anymore, but I still want Star Wars to succeed. I want them to put out great stories, new characters, flesh out great characters, expand the world, or maybe deepen the world. And that's something that I've enjoyed with Andor Season 1. It's been so much fun. So anyways, that's kind of my whole review on the show. If you guys haven't seen it, give it a show. Give it a watch. Watch Season 1, watch Season 2, but go into it with the mindset of, it's a slow burn. Things are deliberate. They set up. They build up. And listen really carefully, because if you connect the dots between what people say and what they do, it can be pretty powerful. The resolutions are powerful. The messages and themes are powerful, and it's pretty cool. So anyways, with that, I'm just going to transition over to, let's take a look at some Andor stuff right here. So I might look at some of these guys, see what looks interesting, and then maybe at the end, maybe I'll try to make my own. So here is on Blue Milk. Here's the not the official, but these are some of the more recent customs for Andor. You can actually see some of them are kind of old when the original movie came out. But one thing I also want to do too is take a look at the official ones. So let's take a look at what are some of the official characters that they have made for Andor, and see what I like. I'm going to kind of give my own little opinion, my rating on these. And let's see, Andor. There's only 2 of them. So the first one is this one, Captain Cassian Andor. We're looking at 70 HP, 16 defense, 7 attack, and 20 damage. So what do I think about this? So this guy's got unique. He's Rogue One, so there's some powers that apply to that. Assassin, +4 attack, +10 damage against living enemies. Quick draw, so this character can make attack opportunities against enemies with special abilities or force powers that ignore characters while moving. And then sniper, and then of course valiant reprisal. So this guy definitely has, kind of more that sniper assassin aspect to him. Definitely that fits Rogue One pretty good. I don't think that really fits very well, of course, with what you watch at Andor just yet. Really, you do see that a little bit in the more recent episodes, but I think it's pretty cool. I like this. I like the aspect of the sniping. His commander effect is Rogue One allies gain valiant reprisal, so it's just kind of like that's the whole Rogue One kind of thing going on. As all these unique characters start going down in the movie, then it kind of pawns it off to other people. So the thing I'm not so sure about this one is he does have the ability against living enemies to get a really high single attack, but I think he still costs a little bit too much for what he does. Like that's not the most wonderful stats. 70, 16, and 7, kind of low. But against living enemies, you'll be doing great stuff. But he doesn't really have a whole lot of survivability about him. So not sure how I feel about that. But I do like the idea. I like the flavor and theme of what they're going for here. I think the better one, from what I saw, is Andor Rebel Spy. So similar stats as the last guy. Only costs 2 more. And in this case, he's still a one-shot person, which I think is appropriate. I think Cassian Andor should be a one-shot character, not like double, triple, twin attack. So he's got unique allegiance. So this one is one that's done with Andor in mind. If your squad contained Luthen immediately before the first activation of the skirmish, this character gains Secret Agent. I'm not going to get into what this one is, but it's kind of like a variation sort of Stealth, which is kind of fun. A little bit different though. So he's got Assassin still and Final Shot. I'm not so sure Final Shot is very appropriate personally for Andor. In a way, I kind of get what they're going for, but I don't really kind of get that vibe just in like the lore in this TV show at least. I don't think as being kind of like a sniper that's really exactly appropriate for him. Infiltrate. Once per skirmish at the beginning of this character's turn, you may choose one enemy commander effect. This character is now subject to that commander effect regardless of restrictions. Oh, that's crazy. That's really interesting. Man, it's really weird when you dive into some of these powers that are unique, that are made up and stuff like that, because some of them are just crazy. So anyway, some of the new ones are fun. Perimeter Watch. This character gains double attack while in low objects or in a squared border by a wall or closed door. Interesting. So I think that's a little bit extra flavor. Not sure that's necessarily... I don't know if it's necessary, but okay. And then he's got Recon. I like that. I think Recon makes a lot of sense. And then Undermine. This character and character within 6 squares cannot receive bonuses or penalties to their save rolls. Interesting. That kind of makes sense because the fate of these guys. That they're going to eventually die. Them and the rest of the Rogue Squadron, the Rogue Squadron crew or whatever. Rogue One crew. So that makes sense that they wouldn't necessarily be able to kind of benefit from that. So I like it. But I'm really curious though, what are some of the ones that you guys have done? So the first one that's most recent is by NRR, who's also New Republic Ryan, so you should check out his channel. Really, really good stuff. A lot of great short breakdowns on several characters. Definitely take a look at that. And I actually briefly looked at this before. I kind of like it. So... Oh, my rating says 2. Oops, I don't know how that happened. I'll say 9. Okay, I don't know how that happened. So I really, really like this version of Andor, actually. So he's a 41. I like the cost. It's more appropriate. He's 90, 18, 12, and 20. So that's kind of the stats of what you'd expect on a solid shooter with very reasonable 90. So he's unique. Stealth. I like that. I think Andor should have stealth. It's very apparent from the show and from the movie. So Commando. That sounds good. I'm not sure I do Commando. I mean, if I'm thinking of the perspective of the TV show, maybe not, but maybe later on for sure, because I can see why he fits as a commando, especially in context of Rogue One, so that's cool. Disruptive, I like it as well, suppresses enemy commander effects within 6 squares. Yeah, whenever he gets close into those situations, can kind of really mess things up. Accurate shot as well. I'm totally cool with accurate shot being there. I think I might have done sniper instead of accurate shot, or maybe sniper and accurate shot. But I think accurate shot's very reasonable to put onto him for sure. because he has that sniper aesthetic. He's a pilot and he's a sniper. So he's accurate shot. He's got cutting attack plus 20. And then recon, I like that he has that. And merciless plus 10. I think this is awesome to put this onto Andor because throughout the entire show, especially starting at the beginning, from season 1 where he like kind of murders those corporate security guys that are hassling him, it's perfect. And throughout the rest of the show as well, you have experiences and opportunities where he just like guns someone down, just boom, just kills them. Like Skeen as well in season 1, it's just like out of nowhere, bam, knocks him off, kills him, shoots him, and they're toast. So I really like that a lot. And then intuition is also perfect for the kind of the way he maneuvers and acts. So this guy I kind of view as like a really effective sniper. I like this a lot. And then his commander effect, he gives allied commandos and spies. He gives them intuition as well, which is pretty fun. I mean, it's not, you don't need it for Bothan commandos, but definitely for some other commandos like the regular ones, it could be a fun thing to add on to them for sure. So I really like where this is going. Definitely think merciless 10's a really fun ad. I like cutting attack. Some combo of accurate or sniper is really cool. And then definitely putting stealth on him and disruptive is really nice. So pretty cool. I like that one. Cassian Andor, Anti-Fascist by Hobby Clivian. What do we got here? So pretty similar. Yeah, so kind of similar. Stats are a little bit less, so this guy's 10 damage. So he's got stealth, pilot. I like that pilot's on here. I think pilot's really important to put on Andor because it's kind of emphasized, especially in season 2. So careful shot plus 4, Deadeye, kind of that sniper aspect to it. Independent outfit. I really like independent outfit on here because he definitely kind of gives this, in some ways he kind of gives the sense of trying to be his own person, do his own thing. So I'm actually kind of a fan of that. I like it. And then disruptive, especially like season 1 Andor. And then disruptive works, opportunist. It was opportunist or cutting attack work for me. I think maybe cutting plus 20. I like that one a little bit more. And then unique is, of course, got to put that in there. So allied commandos gain disruptive. Pretty solid. Let's see, Cassian Andor by Balin Skull. This is a cheaper Andor, so we're looking at 70, 17, 9, and 10. Still pretty fine stats. So he also has independent outfit, pilot, stealth. This guy, he goes for the multiple attacks. So he's got cunning and double and ambush and then recon. So you can kind of just like jump out there and move. Add a lot of extra attacking, a lot of extra damage. Not a whole lot of damage because, you know, he only has that much, 10. But I do like the fact that he could go 13, 20, and then he could get the ambush, which is kind of crazy. Like, because you don't usually see ambush on gun characters or range characters. Usually it's almost always associated with characters that are melee attack or something. So I think that's kind of fun. And then recon, I definitely think that's important to have on there. So commander effect, followers within 6 squares gain ambush. So to me, this kind of feels like a little bit of, in some ways, a little bit of like the Scarif Andor, where kind of his crew, they're ambushing essentially. At least that's the way I see it. Or maybe when they attack Ito. No, that's the rebels that are attacking Ito at that time. So I think that's cool. I like it. The ambush is a fun flavor to throw onto him. I can see some recurring things with pilot and independent outfit coming on here. Cassian Andor Thief. So definitely I think this is kind of more of the TV show before he joins the rebellion officially. Let's see. So rather die. So may not be an Empire squad. Nice. Definitely see some stuff here. Nice. So definitely, I think they went for more specific flavor text for the names of the powers. Aldani Heist, he's part of that crew. Stealth, I like that. Quick draw, yeah, definitely when he kills Skeen, that's definitely the quick draw theme right there. Imperial Prisoner, it has to be used. So allied commanders gain +2 attack within 6 squares of this character. That's all right, I guess. And then cunning attack as well, so not bad. And then, let's see, Marva Andor, I'll skip her, and Kituso. So let's just stop with that. So those are all really cool Andors. So what do I think about it myself? I want to make my own Andor. And how do I want to do this? So let's go to the good old Blue Milk, customs, characters, my characters. Did it save from before? I might have. Nope. All right, let's make my own Andor. How would I do Andor? So I like the theme of what other people got going on here. I'm going to move this over. So let's do this. I'm going to call mine Cassian Andor, Hero of the Rebellion. Okay, so there we go. Cassian Andor, Hero of the Rebellion. I like that. What else do I want to do? Cost, I'll figure that out later. Rebel, absolutely. Hit points. So in the previous ones, I saw a lot of combinations of 80, 90, and so forth. I'm going to go with 80 because of some of the powers I'm going to put on this guy. I think defense can be 17. I'm okay with the slightly lower defense. Attack 9 is pretty in family with what I saw other people do. And then I'm going to go for 20 damage. But yeah, that looks good. And then, heck, let's say this guy's very rare. Okay, special abilities. First things first. Gotta do unique. Okay, it's first one. And then some other special abilities that I think are really important for kind of how I see Andor. I'm going to do, I think, yeah, it might be too, I'm going to do stealth and evade. So the reason why I'm doing both of these powers is for stealth, for obvious reasons. He's, you know, kind of that spy, undercover, espionage. But the reason for evade is there's just like so many instances. Maybe I should say avoid defeat, but then he eventually gets defeated. The reason I'm thinking this is like, okay, he gets out of the situation on Ferrix, and then he gets out again later on. He also gets out of the jail and doesn't die. He also gets out of Aldhani and doesn't die. And then he also gets out of, you know, in season 2, there's a few instances he kind of gets out of as well. So it's like, I almost think maybe evade's the wrong power, but I don't want to do evade, and I don't want to do evade, and I don't want to do avoid defeat. I don't know. Like, what's a good one? Let's see here. What kind of abilities are there for luck? He's not really smuggler's luck either. Scoundrel's luck, raider, gambler's luck, dueling luck. I don't like either of these ones. I'm trying to think of something that works for, that would make sense, because like he just gets out of these situations all the time. So I want recon on this guy as well. Yeah, recon. I'm gonna go with sniper. So he definitely has that sniper aspect to him in the show, especially at the in season 2, episode 8. And then let's add in here Merciless plus 10. Yeah, not 20. I'll do Merciless 10. And then add special ability. Let's see, what else do I want to stick in here as well? Oh yeah, pilot. Definitely gotta put pilot in here. So this is just trying to be like, I don't know, the supreme version of Andor, I guess. Stealth, recon, definitely like that. I like how he's sniper. I'm gonna go sniper. So other people did accurate shot, but I think I'm gonna do sniper in this case. Merciless plus 10, because I really like that concept of him kind of being just kind of like taking the initiative and knocking someone out. So Merciless plus 10 is good, and then he already has 20 damage. I think I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna shake it up a little bit. I'm gonna go with opportunist. Oh no, it's cunning attack. What kind of cunning makes the most sense? I'm gonna go with opportunist plus 20. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go with opportunist 20 here. So this guy can, against characters who have already activated, he can go and blast the crap out of them and do really good. That might not be the right flavor, but I'm just gonna go with it. Oh, wrong thing. Add special ability. Opportunist 20. There we go. Okay, so let's see. What do I think? Do I want to do disruptive on this one as well? I'm not going to do disruptive like some of the other people did. I think disruptive makes a lot of sense in some ways, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm quite feeling it. Sometimes it's more like he's more covert than being disruptive. Stealth, recon, sniper, merciless 10, opportunist 20. Anything else? So some people use intuition. I'm not going to do that because I want to focus on doing the opportunist here. Maybe I shouldn't do merciless. Maybe it'd be better to do Deadeye. I wonder if there's a Deadeye plus 20. Nah. I'm gonna get rid of this one. Add special ability. I'm gonna do Deadeye. But I like Merciless more. Yeah, let's do Merciless. Merciless fits the character better. I'm just gonna keep that one. It is better. Okay, so got these sniper powers. I got recon. I got stealth going on in here, so I like these. Let's see, anybody else? Anything other powers that I really like with him? I don't want to give him mobile shooting. I don't think that's kind of what he's going for. I think stealth is better. Definitely good to have him here. I was thinking about evade, but there's got to be a power. Let's think here. I'm going to think real quick if there's a power that could work for this. Alright, I think I know the thing I'm going to just do. I'm just going to do Spy, because that is what he is at the end of the day. Okay, do I got enough stuff thrown in here? Let's move these up top. So you got Unique, Pilot, Spy, so some titles thrown in there. Stealth, like that, Recon, Sniper, Merciless, and Opportunist plus 20. So there we go. I think this is going to be... So I'm going to go with this. Now, in terms of what I should do for cost, I'm going to run this through my cost calculator that I've been working on, and I'm going to see what it comes up with and says. So we'll see. Let's see what my calculator puts out here. Alright, so I put in Andor's stats here at the very bottom. The ones that I'm going with: 80, 17, 9, 20, max damage 20, total attacks 1, 7 special abilities, false, 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 and then no force or commander effect. So my prediction for his cost is 3.48 for natural log. Now I gotta undo that. Got my calculator here, so when I undo that, it puts his cost squarely. Let's see if I can put it squarely at 33. I think that sounds just fine. I'm gonna go with 33 for now, and then if I feel like I need to change it, maybe I'll go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna cost him at 33 and call it a day. Yeah, okay, sounds great. I'm gonna also change this to public, and proxy miniature, I'm gonna go with Han Solo Rebel Hero. Let's see, there's a lot of them in here, holy smokes. Han Solo Rebel Hero. Okay, I like it. I think it's kind of cool, and we'll see how it goes. So anyways, guys, with that, please... Oh, last thing I want to show you. I did this for fun off screen. I went to ChatGPT and I typed in, make a custom Star Wars miniature by Wizards of the Coast about casting Andor. And look what it said. It spit this out. It spit out, okay, we're going to do 28 costs, 70, 17, 9, and 20. That's what most of you guys did in the community. As commander effect is allies with spies, gain +2 attack. I kind of like that. And then it also did other special abilities. So the special abilities I put in here was, if this character he gets stealth, accurate, recon, opportunist 10, intelligence briefing, and spy. So honestly, it kind of blows my mind that for a game that's 25 years old and pretty much Blue Milk and a couple other websites the only thing that support it, you can go on in here and say, hey, give me a character, and it will pump something out that looks pretty good, and then you can tweak it a little bit. So definitely kind of fun. I thought this was really interesting. I was very curious how that would turn out. So curious if any of you guys have tried this in ChatGPT before. So with that, guys, I'm going to end it. It's kind of a longer video, so I hope you guys kind of enjoy this format. Feel free to skip around if you want to. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments. And again, as always, please like and please subscribe. And watch out for my next video. I'm going to release it on Qui-Gon Jinn here in a couple days. So definitely look forward to that. But until next time, have a good one.